What if just 5 minutes of breathing could lower your anxiety and improve your mood? In the modern world where it feels almost impossible to get a break, perhaps this is the easy and free routine that we all need to gain that pause in our day. Today, we're breaking down the power of conscious breathing, and I'll share a study with some surprising results that you can apply right away. Let's explore. Let's face it, we live in an overstimulated world. Social media, 24/7 notifications on your phone, nonstop work demands, and our nervous systems are constantly on. Most people are running around in low-grade state of stress without even realizing it. And over time, that wears on you, right? Mentally, physically, emotionally. And stress just isn't a feeling. It affects recovery, decision-making, sleep, and your ability to be present as a coach or as a leader or an athlete. And because of that, stress management is critical, especially if you're a high performer, right? If you're a coach, an athlete, a rehab professional, where you have to be present. But the challenge is that most people don't have time for long, fancy meditation or wellness routines, right? We all don't have 2 hours every morning to get our mind right. We need something that's practical. And that's where this 2023 Stanford study comes in hand, where they tested for just 5 minutes a day breathing exercises and actually found that it outperformed mindfulness and meditation to improve mood. So let's unpack the study and then obviously give us some takeaways so we can apply this stuff immediately to help us remain present, improve our mood, lower our anxiety, and ultimately improve how we show up every day. So let's break down the study. This was a randomized controlled trial conducted remotely during the pandemic by Stanford researchers, including Dr. Andrew Huberman. Participants were randomly assigned to one of 4 groups, all doing daily 5-minute sessions for 28 days. The 4 groups: mindfulness meditation, cyclic sighing, box breathing, and then cyclic hyperventilation with retention. Now, some of these you probably haven't heard of before, so give me a moment just to break them all down. The first one, mindfulness meditation, you've probably heard of this one. The way that it was done in the study, subjects in this condition would sit or lie down comfortably. They were told to gently close their eyes, focus on the space between their eyebrows, and not to control their breath, just passive awareness of it. The second group, cyclic sighing, this is the most effective group out of the study. Inhale slowly through the nose, take a second, shorter inhale at the top, also through the nose, and then exhale slowly and fully through the mouth. The third is the most popular. This is probably the one you've heard of before. This is box breathing, aka tactical breathing. What you would do here, inhale for 4 to 6 seconds, hold your breath for 4 to 6 seconds, exhale for 4 to 6 seconds, and then hold your breath again for 4 to 6 seconds, all through the nose if possible. And then finally, cyclic hyperventilation with retention. Inhale deeply through the nose and then exhale passively through the mouth, repeating that 30 times in a row. And then after the 30th breath, exhale all air and hold for 15 seconds. This closely mimics a Wim Hof style of breathing, which is more stimulating than calming. All participants wore a Whoop band, which tracked respiratory rate, heart rate variability, resting heart rate, and sleep quality and duration. Now, a Whoop band isn't gold standard for this type of stuff, but did allow for them to go home and do this, right? And then participants also filled out daily surveys measuring positive effect or how good they felt, negative effect, emotional distress, and then state anxiety. Data was collected before and after each session to track immediate effects, and Whoop data was analyzed for physiological trends over the 4 weeks. So 4 different groups over 4 weeks tracked at home with the Whoop band, again, not gold standard, but allowed for this type of study to be accomplished, and then measured immediately after the breathing, and then obviously physiological trends over the entire study duration. Now let's talk results. All 4 protocols improved mood and reduced anxiety daily. Positive effect increased, state anxiety dropped or decreased, and negative emotions also dropped. Breathwork was better than mindfulness meditation for mood, and breathwork showed a larger increase in daily positive effect than mindfulness. The more days people practiced, the better they felt, right? No surprise there, consistency is always key. Cyclic sighing was the MVP. This was the most effective in improving mood and reducing respiratory rate. So how can we apply this? Well, if you're currently not doing anything, then start with any of these. But if you want to optimize it, then cyclic sighing seems to be the best. You would inhale through the nose, top it off with a second short inhale, and then a long exhale through the mouth. You'd want to repeat this, ideally for 5 minutes per day, and if not more, right? 5 minutes was this study, but if you can do more, great. You can apply this before a performance to reduce that performance anxiety. You can even apply this between sets if you want an emotional reset. I would encourage you, just make it a daily habit for better mood and emotional control. And if you find yourself in moments of anxiety or just feeling overstimulated, overstressed, then sneak in a few minutes of that cyclic breathing. Now, one thing I like to do with athletes is post-workout, to really bring that nervous system back down, I like to use a simple box breathing drill, not because it's necessarily better, but because it's very easy to explain, and athletes are able to kind of follow that breathing pattern, right? 4-second inhale, 4-second pause, 4-second exhale, 4-second pause, and just repeat that for just a couple minutes. The thought of starting this can feel overwhelming because we often think you need 20 minutes per day. But I'm here to give you permission and tell you that you don't need 20 minutes per day. You can use just a couple minutes a day. Try 5 minutes a day. If 5 is too much, try just 2 minutes, right? Meditation works, breath work might be a little bit better, and cyclic breathing seems to be the best. But I wouldn't worry about being the best. I would just get started. If this was helpful, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button and leave me a comment below to let me know how you're using breathing in your daily life.